If you're over 60 and still touching yourself the same way you did in your 20s, you may be quietly damaging the one part of your body you most want to protect. I know that sounds intense, but hear me out. Because this is something I've seen again and again from men who thought they were doing everything right. Men walk in thinking they're fine. But then they learn the truth, that their private habits they've carried for decades, have been silently destroying their sensitivity, weakening their erections, and disconnecting them from real intimacy. You see, masturbation after 60 isn't the same as it used to be. Your body has changed, your skin, your nerves, your blood vessels, even your prostate. They all react differently now, and what once felt good may now be harming you without you even realizing it. But here's the good news. Once you understand the 5 most common mistakes older men make and how to avoid them, you can begin to restore sensitivity, boost circulation, and regain the confidence you thought was gone for good. And almost every senior man I've worked with has made mistake number 1 without even knowing it. Mistake 1. The death grip dilemma. Let's get honest. Most older men have developed a very specific way of pleasuring themselves, often using an intense, tight grip. And for many, it's the only way they can feel anything. But here's the uncomfortable truth. This habit, commonly called the death grip, is slowly robbing you of sensitivity, and it's doing far more harm than good. You see, your penis is not just skin and tissue. It's filled with thousands of delicate nerve endings and tiny blood vessels, both of which become more fragile as you age. When you repeatedly apply too much pressure during stimulation, especially without enough lubrication, those nerves can become desensitized. The blood vessels. They can constrict and scar over time, making it harder to maintain healthy blood flow. And without good blood flow and nerve response, you start to lose the very thing that makes intimacy enjoyable. Here's what many men don't realize. That death grip might feel necessary now, but it's only necessary because your body has already become less responsive due to the damage it caused. It's a vicious cycle. You grip tighter to feel something. But the tighter you grip, the more numb you become over time. And I've seen this play out with patient after patient. They come to me thinking they've lost their desire, or worse, that they're broken. But when we trace it back, it's this one habit, this overly aggressive stimulation, that set everything in motion. So what should you do instead? First, go gentler. Seriously. Use a lighter touch one that mimics what a partner might actually feel like. It might seem less stimulating at first, but that's because your nerves need time to heal. Think of it like physical therapy for your manhood. The goal is to retrain your body to respond to natural sensations again, not brute force. Second, use proper lubrication. Dry stimulation creates friction, and friction is the enemy of sensitive skin, especially aging skin. Find a water-based lube that's gentle and non-irritating. It will not only protect your skin, but help you become more attuned to softer sensations. And finally, change up the routine. Try using your non-dominant hand. Try different positions or rhythms. Reintroduce a sense of curiosity, not just performance. This isn't just about avoiding damage. It's about reconnecting with your body in a healthier, more conscious way. Because when you stop treating your body like a machine and start treating it with care, everything changes. Trust me, I've seen men in their 70s and 80s regain sensitivity they thought was gone forever. But it always starts here, by letting go of the death grip. Mistake 2. Ignoring the role of the pelvic floor. Now here's something most men never hear about. Your pelvic floor, that deep layer of muscles beneath your abdomen, is silently running the show when it comes to your performance, your control, and even your confidence. But here's the problem. As we age, those muscles weaken. They become lazy, underused, and eventually disconnected from your awareness altogether. And when that happens, things begin to fall apart, literally and figuratively. Weak pelvic floor muscles are one of the most overlooked reasons older men struggle with things like erectile dysfunction, premature release, and even urinary leaks. Yes, leaks. You see, your pelvic floor works like a sling, holding up your internal organs and supporting the base of your manhood. When these muscles are strong and activated, they help push blood where it needs to go and hold it there. They also give you control over your timing, your sensitivity, and your bladder. But if you've never trained these muscles, or you've allowed them to atrophy over time, you're likely experiencing some of the telltale signs already. Maybe you're getting softer faster. Maybe you can't hold back like you used to. Or maybe those urgent bathroom trips are starting to disrupt your life. And most men don't even know these symptoms are connected. They just assume it's part of getting older. But it's not. It's part of muscle neglect. And the good news is it's completely reversible. Here's where things get interesting. There's a simple, proven way to train the pelvic floor. They're called Kegel exercises. Yes, the same ones women are often told to do after childbirth. But for men, they're a game changer. Here's how you start. Next time you urinate, try stopping the flow midstream. The muscles you engage to do that, those are your pelvic floor muscles. Now, outside of the bathroom practice, squeezing those muscles, hold for 3 to 5 seconds, then release. Do this for 10 to 15 reps a few times a day. It doesn't require a gym. You can do it sitting, standing, or even lying in bed. And over time, with consistency, these tiny movements will reawaken strength and control you thought you'd lost. But the key is awareness. Most men have never even felt these muscles before. So don't get discouraged if it feels awkward at first. That's totally normal. Your mind and body are learning to reconnect, and that's the first step to real lasting improvement. I've worked with countless older men who came to me frustrated, defeated, and embarrassed. But once we incorporated pelvic floor training into their routine, they started noticing results in weeks. Not just in performance, but in confidence, posture, and even sleep. So don't overlook this. Your pelvic floor isn't just a supporting act. It's the foundation of your function. And the sooner you start strengthening it, the better your results will be. Mistake 3. Skipping recovery. Time and rest. Let's talk about something that doesn't get enough attention. Recovery. Most older men assume that if they're not engaging in strenuous workouts or athletic performance, recovery doesn't apply to them. But when it comes to sexual health, particularly solo activity rest and recovery are just as crucial. Here's why. Your body, especially after age 60, needs more time to regenerate repair tissues and restore hormonal balance. Just like any other physical activity, sexual stimulation, including masturbation, creates micro-stress on tissues, nerves, and even your cardiovascular system. When you don't allow enough time to recover between sessions, you risk overtaxing the very systems that support your health. Now, I've had men tell me, "But I don't feel sore," or "It doesn't seem like I'm overdoing it." But listen, the signs are subtle. Reduced sensation, decreased energy afterward, longer recovery time for erections, and even mental fog can all be symptoms of not giving your body a proper break. One of the most overlooked consequences is nerve desensitization. If you're stimulating frequently without sufficient rest, the nerves in your pelvic region can begin to dull. And once that happens, it takes longer to become aroused longer to climax, and longer to feel pleasure. This can trigger a frustrating loop where you start increasing the frequency or intensity in an attempt to feel something only to make the issue worse. Think of your body like a battery. It needs time to recharge. If you keep draining it before it's full, your performance, both physical and emotional, will suffer. So what's the solution? Create a rhythm that respects your biology. If you're over 60, a good rule of thumb is to allow at least 48 hours between sessions more if you're feeling tired, unmotivated, or noticing reduced sensitivity. Pay attention to how your body responds, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally. If you feel guilt, irritability, or fatigue afterward, those are signs you're pushing past your natural limits. Rest is not a weakness. It's a secret weapon. It gives your tissues time to regenerate your hormones, time to balance, and your mind time to reconnect with your body. In fact, periods of rest can actually heighten your experience the next time you engage. Many men report stronger arousal, better stamina, and deeper satisfaction after taking a short break. Also, don't underestimate the power of sleep hydration and nutrition during this time. Your body uses these tools to repair itself. Skipping sleep, eating poorly, or staying dehydrated delays your recovery and makes everything harder, literally and figuratively. So here's the bottom line. If you want to maintain long-term sexual health, especially as you age, you have to start thinking like an athlete. Recovery is part of the plan, not a punishment. Honor it, protect it, and your body will thank you. Mistake 4. Using the wrong kind of lubrication. You might not think much about it, but the kind of lubrication you use can quietly make or break your sexual health over time. And for men over 60, this often overlooked detail can lead to irritation, sensitivity loss, and even long-term damage if not handled correctly. Let's be real. As we age, our skin becomes thinner, more delicate, and slower to heal. The tissues in the genital area are no exception. They become more sensitive to chemicals, pH imbalances, and even friction. That's why using the right kind of lubrication isn't just about comfort, it's about protection. Here's the mistake most older men make. They reach for whatever's nearby. Maybe it's a lotion, a petroleum jelly, or some kind of household cream that wasn't designed for this purpose at all. Sounds familiar? The problem is many of these products contain harsh ingredients, fragrances, alcohol, preservatives. These additives can cause microscopic tears in the skin, disrupt the natural pH of the area, and lead to chronic dryness or infections. And the worst part, you might not even feel the damage right away. But over time, you start to notice burning itchiness, reduced pleasure, or even performance issues. That's why water-based unscented lubricants, specifically made for intimacy, are the safest bet. They're designed to mimic your body's natural moisture. They rinse off easily, don't leave residue, and most importantly, they don't interfere with your skin's natural healing process. Avoid anything with warming sensations, tingling effects, or labeled as long-lasting with ingredients you can't pronounce. These might sound exciting, but they often contain chemicals that are too aggressive for aging skin. In fact, many of them cause more dryness afterward than before you used them. And if you're someone who prefers oil-based products like coconut oil, make sure you're aware of the pros and cons. Natural oils can feel great, but they also come with risks. They can clog pores, disrupt the skin barrier, and if not properly cleaned, lead to lingering residue that encourages bacterial growth. Another thing to consider is timing. Lubrication should be applied before any friction starts, not in the middle when it already feels uncomfortable. This helps reduce stress on the tissues from the very beginning which is especially important for men who are noticing a bit more fragility or sensitivity than they used to. Lastly, let's talk about frequency. If you find yourself needing lubrication more often or earlier than before, don't see it as a weakness. It's not a sign that you're less of a man. It's a sign that you're taking care of your body wisely, working with it, not against it. So what's the takeaway here? Choose your lubrication with intention. Respect your skin. And don't let marketing gimmicks or convenience lead you into long-term problems. Your body deserves better, especially now. Mistake 5. Ignoring blood flow and circulation. Let's talk about something that affects everything but often gets overlooked. Blood flow. It's not just about getting or maintaining an erection. It's about oxygen, nutrients, hormones, healing. Everything that keeps your body functioning, especially your reproductive system, depends on strong, steady circulation. As men age, blood vessels tend to narrow. Arteries get stiffer. And if we're not actively doing things to promote circulation, we slowly lose one of the most important keys to sexual vitality. One of the biggest mistakes older men make is assuming that blood flow just is what it is. But here's the truth. Circulation is not a fixed trait. It's something you can influence, strengthen, and protect. Poor blood flow doesn't just impact performance in the bedroom. It can lead to numbness, delayed sensation, difficulty reaching climax, and over time it can actually reduce the strength of your erections permanently. Now, what causes poor circulation in the first place? The list is longer than most men realize. Sitting too much, not walking daily, skipping leg day at the gym, eating processed foods, being dehydrated, even shallow breathing. Yes, that's right. Not breathing deeply enough throughout the day restricts oxygen delivery and slows down blood movement. Another culprit: poor sleep. When your body doesn't get deep restorative rest, your blood vessels don't repair properly. And testosterone, which needs a healthy circulatory system to do its job, starts to drop even faster. So how do you turn this around? Start by moving every single day. You don't need to run a marathon, but you do need to walk, stretch, use your legs. They're your second heart pushing blood back up to your chest and brain. If your legs are weak or inactive, your whole circulatory system suffers. Then there's food. Beets, leafy greens, garlic, turmeric, and even dark chocolate. All of these support healthy blood vessels. They reduce inflammation. They help your body produce nitric oxide, the natural compound that relaxes blood vessels and makes erections possible in the first place. Also, breathe better. Take 5 deep belly breaths in through your nose, out through your mouth 3 times a day. It may sound simple, but deep breathing stimulates your vagus nerve and encourages better blood flow. It's like a mini reset for your whole cardiovascular system. And if you smoke, stop. Even occasional smoking can stiffen your arteries and sabotage your progress faster than you think. But perhaps most importantly, talk to your doctor about your circulation. Get your blood pressure checked. Ask about your cholesterol. These aren't just numbers. They're clues about your future performance, energy, and vitality. Remember, a man is only as strong as his circulation. Ignore it, and everything slowly fades. Care for it, and your body will reward you with resilience and confidence that lasts. Mistake 6. Not managing stress hormones. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you felt truly calm? Not distracted, not numbed out in front of a screen, but really relaxed in your body, in your mind, in your breath. If it's been a while, you're not alone. And here's the danger: chronic stress is one of the most destructive forces on your sexual health, especially after the age of 60. Why? Because of one powerful hormone, cortisol. Now, cortisol isn't all bad. In small amounts, it helps us wake up in the morning, stay alert, and survive emergencies. But when cortisol stays elevated day after day, it starts to destroy your testosterone. Literally. Your body sees stress as a threat, so it shuts down anything it doesn't need for immediate survival. That includes reproduction. That includes libido. That includes performance. Think of testosterone and cortisol like two sides of a seesaw. When one goes up, the other comes down. You can't have high stress and high testosterone at the same time. It's physiologically impossible. And here's where most men make the mistake. They ignore stress because they think they're handling it. They tough it out. They push through. But inside, their hormones are under attack. And what does that lead to? Irritability, fatigue, low sex drive, sleepless nights, mood swings, and over time, full-blown erectile dysfunction. So how do you break the cycle? It starts with awareness. You have to stop wearing stress like a badge of honor. It's not strength, it's sabotage. Begin by carving out just 10 minutes a day, no phone, no noise to breathe, walk, stretch, or sit quietly. This isn't a luxury, it's maintenance for your nervous system, and over time it resets the cortisol levels that are silently damaging your manhood. Next, sleep. If you're not sleeping at least 7 hours consistently, your cortisol levels will stay high no matter what you do, and you'll never give your testosterone the chance to rise. Also, reduce stimulants. Too much caffeine, especially after noon, spikes cortisol. So does watching the news or arguing online. Even multitasking too much can put your brain in a constant fight-or-flight state. Simplify your inputs and your hormones will thank you. And don't overlook your diet. Sugar, refined carbs, and alcohol, all of them fuel cortisol and crash testosterone. On the other hand, foods rich in magnesium, omega-3s, and antioxidants like salmon, spinach, and berries help lower stress hormones and rebuild your system from the inside out. Finally, human connection. Loneliness is one of the biggest stressors for older adults. Reach out, talk to a friend, join a group, laugh, touch. All of these activities activate your parasympathetic nervous system, your body's natural relaxation mode, and help bring cortisol back down to a healthy baseline. You can't eliminate all stress, but you can stop it from destroying your hormones, your energy, and your sense of self. And when you do, your body responds. You'll feel it in your mood, your drive, and yes, in your performance. Mistake 7: believing low libido is just a normal part of aging. Here's a hard truth many men over 60 have been told. If your desire is fading, that's just age. Learn to live with it. But what if that's not the truth? What if low libido isn't a natural part of getting older, but a signal that something deeper is out of balance? Let's clear something up. Yes, it's true that testosterone naturally declines with age, but that decline is often exaggerated and misunderstood. Most men don't lose their drive because they're getting old. They lose it because they've made 6 other silent mistakes we've already discussed: poor sleep, dehydration, blood sugar issues, mineral deficiencies, stress overload, and lack of movement. Libido, that spark of desire, of vitality, of connection, isn't just about age. It's about energy. It's about circulation. It's about brain chemistry. And most of all, it's about hormonal balance. Think of your sex drive like a dashboard warning light. When it dims or goes out, it's not broken. It's telling you that something upstream needs attention. And the most dangerous thing you can do is ignore it. Because over time, the longer your desire stays low, the more your body accepts it as the new normal. Your brain literally rewires itself to stop producing the chemicals of arousal, motivation, and bonding. You may not notice it overnight, but gradually you stop flirting, you stop reaching out, you stop initiating, and your relationship with your partner and with yourself begins to dull. This isn't about performance, it's about presence. The way you walk into a room, the way you carry yourself, the sense of being alive, not just existing. Low libido isn't just about what happens behind closed doors. It affects confidence, mood, memory, even your lifespan. But here's the good news, you can get it back. Not with pills or gimmicks, but by restoring the foundational systems of your body. Start with food. Zinc-rich foods like pumpkin seeds, oysters, and beef help rebuild testosterone. So do healthy fats like olive oil and avocado. Cut back on processed sugars, they're hormone killers. Move your body every day, even if it's just a walk. Exercise boosts dopamine, testosterone, and blood flow, the holy trinity of desire. Sleep deeply. It's during REM sleep that your body produces the majority of its testosterone. If you're shortchanging your rest, you're draining your drive. Reignite your curiosity about life, about yourself, about your partner. Read something new. Try something different. Touch, talk, connect. Your libido isn't just a switch, it's a flame. And flames need air to burn. But above all, never settle for a life without desire. Not when your body is still capable. Not when your heart still longs. Not when science, nutrition, and habit can help you feel like yourself again. Desire is not just for the young, it's for the living. And if you're still breathing, you're still meant to burn. If you've made it this far, take a moment to breathe, really breathe. Because what we just uncovered isn't just about testosterone or energy or libido. It's about reclaiming your vitality, your fire, your right to feel strong, connected, and fully alive at any age. These 7 silent mistakes, they've robbed millions of older men of their power, quietly, slowly, without warning. But now, you know. And that knowledge is the first step toward transformation. So don't just nod and move on. Choose to take action today, not tomorrow, not next week. Because the longer you wait, the deeper the habits settle in, and the harder it becomes to rise again. Now I want to hear from you. Type "ready" in the comments if you're ready to take your life back. Type "strong" if you're already doing some of this and feel the difference. And if you learned even one thing that opened your eyes today, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button and turn on the notifications. Because here, we're building a tribe of men who refuse to fade quietly, who fight not just for more years, but for better ones. Your voice matters. Your strength is not behind you. It's just waiting for you to claim it. Let's rise together.